see.
Well, all right. We're getting a lot of exciting interest for the Play Bigger performance groups. And one thing I thought might be good is for us to spend a little time talking about it, because you're one of the guinea pigs. Thank you for that. Of the pilot group. And we've ranted about this before, but I think we should get a little bit more specific today on why you like it and what you're getting out of it, so people can sort of hear from somebody in the group, you know, why they should potentially consider and see if they're a fit, but potentially sign up for Play Bigger.
Yeah, I think it's super important that we talk about that, because the more and more people ask me about it, I'm really noticing how like dramatic the difference is between the Play Bigger performance groups and anything else that I've seen out there in terms of format and results and everything. So yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Well, right before we go into that, I just want to say that like another reason that I want to talk to you about this is because if it weren't for you, I probably would have started something, but you really kind of helped push me towards this idea, because you were like, there's a gap. As a franchisor, this is something I need. I need a tribe. I need a group of friends around me. Maybe just give me that quick story there first.
Yeah, it was super, super obvious. You know, I just went to a lot of the franchise events and I noticed that where I was supposed to be getting value, although I was getting value, it wasn't enough value. And I was just yearning and thirsting for it. The panels weren't enough. The keynotes weren't enough. The social events weren't enough. I'm like, what's missing here? The true brain trust, where all the intelligence lies, is within the other franchisors, the people who are in my boat. And they weren't participating in a lot of that things either, because they were feeling the same way. So I'm like, this looks like an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've been trying to kind of figure out something in this along this line. So, all right. So when people hear the term mastermind, I think they kind of get a certain thing in their head. So I'm going to ask you, when you think of a mastermind, just out there, whatever, like generic, what do you think that is?
Well, I would always compare a mastermind to the other frame of reference, which is a round table. And in my head, I think of a round table literally as a round table where people sit around and they chat and they talk. So when I think of a mastermind, I think of it as like a round table, except it's more exclusive. You know, there's only certain people that need to be in there. I usually think about it as the same people being in there, all like chief development officers or all marketing people or are all CEOs or whatever. I think of it as very finite. You know, we come together, we talk about whatever we need to talk about, and then we go on with the rest of our lives until we come back to this, you know, in 6 months. It's almost like a mini conference. That's what I think of a mastermind.
Okay. And so how do you see Play Bigger being different than a mastermind?
Well, I mean, I look at it this way, you know, if you have a Toyota and a Lamborghini, right, they're two significantly different cars, but they both have four wheels. I mean, for the most part, they both have an engine, and they're both their prerogative is to get you from point A to point B. They just do it very differently. You know, one has a different growl, one has more power, one has more speed, you know, one looks sexier. Exactly, right? So ultimately, they're helping you accomplish the same thing, but I would think that the Lambo does it better, you know? So to me, that's kind of how I compare these Play Bigger performance groups to a mastermind. You know, you get into groups with people who are the same, you know, they do the same thing as you. They're on the franchisor side. You're not talking to somebody who's a CEO of a company that isn't even involved in franchising and is trying to give you some information. You know, they're people that are in the same thing, and you've almost created a tribe. And the best thing about it is each one of these groups, because the people, they're the same within the group, but they're different than the other groups. The groups are customized, you know? It's not like you're going in there and you're expecting just the same rudimentary schedule or curriculum. It's built to make sure that it's effective for that group of people. If they're a mess and all over the place and that's what they like it and they're just feeding ideas, then that's what you roll with, right? If they're super diligent and they need everything organized by lists, oh baby, start pulling out Asana or some task management system.
Yeah, your favorite, the Asana. So that's a great point. So it's customized to the group. But another thing you mentioned is, like, you think of a mastermind as finite, and in your mind, what makes Play Bigger not so much like that? Like, maybe just explain how you feel as a member.
Well, I tell you, the thing is, when you get into franchising, you leave the business of whatever business you're in and you enter the business of people. So if you're looking for support, why wouldn't you go to support from people? And so what happens here is you create this group that's there to help you. And so I usually enter these groups just willing and offering help to as many people as often as I can. But there's been times where I kind of, in humility just said, hey guys, I need this help. And they were like, boom, yes, we're there for you. We'll help you. I'm like, what? Like, this isn't, okay, let me tell you my problem and you've got 12 minutes to answer it. But it was just, they're there and we were on it. And that's what was the best, because I'm a person and I'm dealing with people and I'm in the people industry. And so I have other people helping me through things and I just want to help them back.
Yeah, that understand you. And you've built that trust. And what I was trying to get you to say
okay, feeding me lines.
What I was trying to get you to say is that, we, because of the group building, being a great fit together for one thing, but also because we have like our group chat, and when we were in person together at the IFA in February, pre-COVID, but we were hanging out together and we were building that relationship. So I think what you're trying to say is, if it was a mastermind where you're like, okay, I'll see you in every quarter or whatever, but then there's nothing in between.
Yeah. So like, it's like when you meet up with an old buddy, how are you? Yeah. Work, school, family. You both have work, school, family potentially, right? But you have different work, different school, different families. So you talk very on a superficial level. If you really wanted to get into it, it'd be hours of you trying to tell somebody in the medical industry what's going on in the VR industry. And it almost becomes laborious. The people that you're with are in the same industry, the franchising industry. So it's so easy to be connected to them all the time, and actually have like a support group and a friendship group. But it's not necessarily just kumbaya and everyone patting each other's back and a bunch of buddies. Like, you get stuff done and you make progress.
Get real.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I mean, the group chat has been incredible to be a part of. Like, for me, just hearing everybody supporting or seeing everybody supporting each other. And again, I think it comes down to the fact that the right people are together in the right group, and then have really built trust. It's like building that trust. Like you said, you're not the guy that usually comes in and asks for help, and you're usually the guy coming in and giving help. And then one day you show up and you're like, actually today I kind of need help. Do you guys mind helping me? And I'll have to say, I was so proud of you, because like that takes a lot of vulnerability, and really is a sign of a good leader. So what is one of the biggest shifts that you've had happen for you since being a part of the Play Bigger pilot group since January?
Oh, definitely leadership. I mean, I've always seen myself as a leader. I've been in leadership courses. I've been in leadership positions and all that sort of stuff. I feel like I'm a natural born leader, but there's always space to improve. And when you have to work with franchisees, people who are adults, people who have invested their own money, it's a different type of leadership. So I think Play Bigger performance groups have helped me better my leadership, have helped me connect with my franchisees better, in order to help them reach the results that they want, whether it's, satisfaction in their life and what they're doing and the cause they're working towards, or profitability, or being, or just, having a pulse on what's going on so that I can help them better.
That's awesome. Like, you probably would never realize you even might have needed to grow as a leader, because you've done leadership things. But then you get in there and you realize, oh, I got a gap here you might not even know that you have a gap, but then you improve and you go, oh, I look at what I got from this. All right. So what would you say to somebody who's like, I just don't know if I need this. Like, I'm not sure if I need to be a part of this.
Well, okay. I mean, my personality would say, yeah, you need it. Trust me. just give it a shot. Right. But I think, it reminds me a lot of virtual reality. It's really hard to describe virtual reality to somebody until they try it. Yeah, I mean, that happened with you. You tried it, right? Same thing as with this. It's super easy to like pigeonhole this in with other masterminds and things like that. But this is something you just absolutely need to try. So what I would say is, whoever's thinking about it, to reach out to you, and you usually help expose them to that environment in one way or another, whether it's through your Play Bigger performance groups or through whatever else you do. And then they go, I get it. AC is different than everyone else, and I can see the value that'll come out of this.
Cool. Well, let's see if anybody wants to check it out. But it's time to wrap.
It's a wrap.
3, 2, 1. Go. Go be
Go be awesome.
awesome.